Hi everyone, we are from Group 7 and for Psychological Group Project, we are going to explore the topics of social media usage. We have interviewed 3 individuals, specifically 2 from FCSIT and 1 from FELC, to understand how social media affect their emotion, behavior and relationship in their daily life. In this video, we will share the key findings from our interviews, reflect on them, and connect them with psychological concepts.
From our interviews, we noticed some clear similarities. All 3 of them use social media daily. They spend around 5 to 6 hours daily on various platforms. They also agree that social media is distracting, especially when they are trying to study or work. Even though the platforms offer entertainment and connection, they also admit that it can easily pull their attention away from more important tasks. When we asked about which platforms they use the most, there was some variation, but the common platforms mentioned were TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Another point they all had in common was the way social media affects their relationship. All 3 say that social media helps them stay connected with friends and family. Lastly, when it comes to like and comments, none of them say they are deeply affected by the amount of engagement they get. While Lina says she enjoys receiving likes, she tries not to let them influence her emotions too much. While Leong and Q both say they don't really care about those things and use social media more as a way to document their life. For the patterns or trends, one clear pattern is that social media plays a central role in their daily routine. All 3 of them use social media as a form of entertainment or to relax. Another trend we notice is how they try to balance their usage. While they are admitted that social media can be distracting, none of them mention using strict control like ad blockers or timers. Instead, they say they mainly use it when they are free. We suggest a more casual approach to self-regulation rather than active time management. We also found a common idea that social media can be both positive and negative depending on how it's used. For example, Lina enjoys the inspiration it provides, but also recognizes it can lead to insecurity or stress, while Q and Leon focus more on the positive side, saying it helps them learn new things or unwell. This pattern shows that many people are aware of the potential downside of social media, but they try to focus on the benefits. Overall, the trend is that most people use social media as a multifunctional tool to learn, relax, and stay socially connected. But how it impacts their mental and emotional state really depends on their personal mindset and how they engage with it.
Next, we also noticed some interesting difference in their response. When we asked whether they compare themselves to others on social media, Lina and Q both admitted that they do. Lina said that in the past, she felt insecure when seeing other posts, while Q mentioned feeling envious at times, but Leong doesn't compare himself to others. And if he sees anything negative, he just scroll past it without being affected. We also saw difference in how they experience stress or anxiety from using social media. Lina was the only one who said she has felt anxious and stressed, especially when seeing negative news and comparing herself to others. However, Leong and Q both said that social media doesn't really cause them stress. Lastly, when we asked about whether social media affect their emotions, Lina again expressed that it can be both positive and negative. Leong said it's mostly positive for him, and Q also shared that he used it to relax and unwind, so it tends to have a more uplifting effect on his emotions.
Hi, my name is Chufani and my matrix number is 103655. I would like to share some findings from our interviews about how social media affects people. One key finding is social media likes and comments can make people feel happy. When people get likes, the brain will give them dopamine, a chemical that make them feel good. Most of our interviewers say that like is not very important for them. However, Lina shared that she still feel happy when she get likes. This shows that even people say likes don't matter, social media can still reward them and make them feel want to use it more. Another important point is how people manage their emotion when using social media. For example, Leon said he just scrolled past the negative post. This is called emotional regulation. It means he protects his emotion by avoiding negative content. At the same time, it shows self-awareness because he knows what affects him negatively and he can take action to avoid it. One more point is that social media can make people afraid of missing out. This feeling is called fear of missing out, or you can call it FOMO. It happens when people want to check their social media all the time because they don't want to lose any important news. For example, Q said he used social media to stay connected with his friends and family. Lina also said she uses social media every day because it is a part of her life. This shows that people think social media is very important and they want to check it all the time. Thank you.
So moving to the next one, we are going to analyze and applying psychological concept based on the 3 interviewees' answer. So the first one is from Lina and Q's experiences. We think that it reflects on social comparison theory based on Festinger 1955, which suggests that individuals evaluate themselves by comparing with others. So when they're exposed to idealized portrayal social media, such as achievement, appearances, or lifestyle, users like Lina or Q's may feel inadequate or envious, impacting their self-esteem and emotional well-being compared to Leong's experiences. So moving to the second one is from all 3 interviewees, they mentioned that social media are the distraction from their study. This is aligned with the concept of cognitive overload, where the brain is bombarded with excessive information like constant notifications and content, leading to reduced attention span, impaired focus, and difficulties in information retention, ultimately affecting their academic performance.
After doing this interview, I realized that everyone experiences social media differently. Some people, like Lina, used to feel insecure when comparing themselves to others, but now they take it more positively. Others, like Leong and Q, don't really get affected much and just enjoy using social media for fun or to relax. Thinking about myself, I feel like I'm somewhere in between. Sometimes social media distract me or make me overthinking, but most of the time it's just a way to chill or stay connected with friends. This made me realize that it's really important to control how much time I spend on it and not let likes and comments affect my emotions. In the future, I want to be more mindful and use social media in a way that make me happy instead of stressed.
After doing these interviews and reflecting on the responses, I realized how important and even indispensable social media is in our life. What impressed me the most was that Leong and Q didn't care about the negative comments. This is something I can learn from because I am a person who is easily affected by negative comments. At the same time, I also can relate to Lina's feelings. When I see others posting about their perfect life, it's easy for me to start comparing and feeling a little insecure. This project made me think more deeply about how I use social media and how it affects my emotions. In conclusion, I believe social media isn't entirely good or bad. It really depends on how we choose to use it.
Hi, my name is Chufani and my matrix number is 103655. From the interview, I asked 3 students about their experience with social media. Based on the answer, I learned that social media has both good and bad effects on people's emotions and relationships. First, when I asked about comparing themselves to others on social media, some students say they used to feel insecure or envious, but now they try to take others as inspiration. Some say they ignore negative posts and do not compare themselves. Most students agree that social media is very distracting when studying or working. It's easy to lose focus because they like to open their apps and scroll. When asked how much time they spend on social media, most of them say around 5 to 6 hours a day. Social media is already part of their daily routine. The most popular platforms among them are TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. TikTok is funny, Instagram is used to share their life, and YouTube is helpful for learning. Some students say social media has made them feel stressed or anxious, especially when seeing negative news or comparing themselves to others. However, others say no because they choose to ignore the bad posts. About mental health, they say social media can be both good and bad. It can help them stay connected and feel happy, but it can also bring pressure if they are not careful. For managing time, they say they try to use social media when they are free or set some limits to control their time online. When asked about relationships with friends and family, they say social media has helped them stay in touch easily and share happy moments, but sometimes it made them less present in real life. Most students say social media affects their emotion. Many feel positive when using it to relax, but some feel negative emotion when they compare themselves to others. Lastly, when talking about likes and comments, most students say they feel happy to receive them, but they try not to let them control their feelings. They prefer to use social media to document their own lives, not to chase approval from others. In conclusion, social media brings both good and bad effects. It's important for us to use it wisely, control our time, and focus more on our own happy rather than compare ourselves to others. Thank you.
So hi, my name is Li Puisang with matrix number 104726, and I will do the reflection. After the interview sessions and everything my group and I has done, I also think about how I use social media too. I used to compare myself with others before this, and sometimes it made me feel not good enough. But like Lina said, now I try to take it as motivation. And I also agree that social media is fun and help us to stay connected with our families and friends when they are far away from us. But it also can be a big distraction, especially when I'm supposed to be studying or focusing on something that is more important. And I also noticed that I tend to spend a lot of time on it without realizing. In the end, I think social media isn't fully good or bad. It actually depends on how we control our time and emotion. If we know our limit, it can actually help us in many ways.
I'm Misha Su Xiaofeng with matric number 104959. Insight from the interview, one of the questions we touched on how social media affect our mental health. Lina pointed out how it can make us feel connected but also cause pressure. Q highlighted that its impact depends on how we use it. These views are a reminder of the dual nature of social media. It can be uplifting and inspiring, but also overwhelming if not approached with intention. Besides, This season made me realize that social media is what we made of it. For me, it's about finding balance, connecting with loved ones, staying inspired, and keeping things positive. I have learned from my peers that it's okay to feel envious or anxious at times as long as we channel those feelings into something constructive. As Lina wisely said, social media can be both good and bad for mental health. It's up to us to decide how we use it and how much power we give it over our emotions. At the end of the day, reflecting on our habits and learning from others help us grow. So let's take a step back, evaluate how we interact with social media and make it a tool for positivity and growth. In conclusion, our interview revealed that social media can be both helpful and harmful. It depends on how we use it. While it helps us stay connected and entertained, it can also cause stress, distraction, and even affect our self-esteem. This project helped us become more aware of the psychological effect of social media and how to use it more mindfully. Thank you for watching our reflection video.